looking at.
Good Thursday evening, one and all. Welcome to Thursday Night Geeks. For some reason, Dan's not here, and I think that's a better show. But Dan, you slipped out of the room for some reason. I don't know what you did, buddy, but it's good to have you here, Thursday Night Geeks. I'm Bill Smith alongside the disappearing Dan Davidson, and we're back, Dan, for our season finale. Yeah, I can't hear you. This is the beauty of live television. There we go.
Yeah. So as the promos were, as the opening music and your incredible graphics were playing on my screen, everything froze. So I'm like, oh boy. So I just refreshed my browser, which obviously kicked me out of the studio. But sorry, I'm back. So hi. Good to see you,
I
buddy.
would never have known if Garcia hadn't said anything. Of course, we do have Garcia in the house tonight.
Yes.
For the season finale. It didn't seem right to do it any other way. If you're watching on Instagram tonight, you get a little different view. You get one that's formatted for mobile phone, which is kind of cool. So
very cool.
Hi, Instagram. It's good to see you.
Instagraniacs.
No, I don't think they've ever wanted to be called that. And Rosk has called it out. Garcia, everyone drink.
Cheers.
Cheers, one and all. He's kind of holding his head like, oh God, what have I gotten myself?
I'm sure he is. Yes. I don't get to see him. So
we're going to do a live look in to Dan Garcia. There he is.
Boom.
He ugly. Yeah. So
that was great. That was the best.
He's there. The best part is I can bring him on anytime I want to. So good Thursday evening, one and all. Let's go through the roll call. Of course, we know Ross is here. Of course, Jason is here.
Jason,
typical Thursday,
baby.
Some tool named Dan Davidson 5653.
Don't know why that changed. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know. I have to see why my setting changed, but yes, that is me.
I thought at once you might be being spoofed by somebody else.
No,
and they might be more interesting.
That I'm not going to argue with, but that is me. Not sure why my name changed. Got to check that out. It's
Thursday and Helen is in the house as always, so we can officially proceed with everything that's going on. Good Thursday evening, Helen. Good to have you here. I wonder if this is Burley with a different screen name.
Possibly.
Since it says Burley and beer. I like beer. I like Burley. That. So greetings, one and all. Season's greetings, in fact, since we are in the month of December. Brad is in the house. Apparently, it's been a winter wonderland in some areas of the country, but not here in North Carolina.
Oh, I got something to say about that. Yeah, we got a foot of snow here yesterday.
What?
And Tuesday. Today's Tuesday. Today's Thursday. So Tuesday, we got about a foot of snow. And I was listening to the news yesterday. This is the first time in 23 years that on this date, this early in December, 40% of the United States has snow covered.
Wow. Dan Davidson with the math and the statistics. I feel much better for having witnessed it. I don't know about you out there. Ross says we have a chance of, quote unquote, something frozen coming down overnight here in North Carolina. I'll believe it when I see it. And of course, if it does, it's going to shut down the entire state.
True.
So I'm good with that. Of course, Crusher Convo in the house. Absolutely check out that podcast. It's fantastic.
It is.
Steve.
Even a house.
Good evening, Steve. And of course, so many folks, if we haven't gotten everybody, I apologize. But It's good to have everybody here for a typical Thursday night. Dan,
Yes,
today,
sir.
before we
Yeah.
get going on our main topic, which is, of course, if you and I ran Star Trek for a day, which I think we can all agree is really kind of troublesome, wouldn't you say?
No, I think it would be awesome. It's
I
for us.
yes,
Everybody else is gonna hate it.
it would be awesome for us. I don't know if it'd be awesome for everybody.
Yeah.
But today, in fact, the new key art for the new Starfleet Academy series was released. And I don't know if
Oh,
you've seen it, but I want to get your initial reaction.
okay.
I'm going to pull it up on screen here now.
Okay. What the fuck? What the hell? Oh my god.
This is the new key art for Starfleet Academy. So I was thinking about this. And to me, it looks a lot like the old People magazine cover for 90210, which happened
That's
back in the
awesome.
90s.
Yeah. That's eerily similar. Yep.
Right? Am
Yeah.
I wrong about this?
So are we basically now saying that Star Trek has become Beverly Hills 90210?
Or One Tree Hill or Dawson's Creek or any of the
Yeah.
other sort of angst-ridden shows
Pull that back
that
up
you see.
again, dude.
Yeah, which one? The
The
Bel
the the
yeah.
the Starfleet Academy one. Wow. That's wow.
So, I posted this online. There were people saying, "Well, you can't judge this from this." It's like, the trailer showed more, and I don't think the trailer did show more, honestly. A trailer has different functions than key art does, and this is the key art. This is what represents the marketing for the series for the season. So when you see this displayed in like Paramount Plus, or someday if it moves to another service, or if you happen to download it after the fact, the digital copy, this is the art that you will likely see for the series unless they change it for the DVD. This is meant to say something about the show. And I think what it says is, we've been right about everything we've said so far.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I'm gonna hold my judgment. I know I've said from the beginning I'm not pumped up for the show. I'm surprised with that. It looks like they're trying to go targeting a specific audience. And we talked about this when Section 31's trailer came out. It was a K-pop type young kid action type of trailer, which I didn't really like. And then we all saw what a heaping pile of dinosaur dung that movie ended up being. There's no Holly Hunter in this picture. There's no Bob Picardo in this picture. And yes, it's Starfleet Academy, but you would think that they would have the big players, at least in some of this marketing promotion that they're doing.
Well, much like Discovery when it first started, it was supposed to be the journey of Michael Burnham. It's her story. This is the story of these cadets and following them through the academy. While Holly Hunter is the captain of whatever vessel they wind up on, I'm sure that she's not. I'm going to guess she's not in every episode. She might be.
Yeah, true.
But, same with Bob Picardo.
Yeah.
In much the same way that half the people who were announced initially for Star Trek Discovery are only in half of the first season.
Yeah.
It's hard to say. Steve brings up a great point. I have opinions on this. This is either going to be a hilarious spoof on teen dramas or just an overdramatic, poorly written thing that takes itself too seriously. Star Trek, with not counting Lower Decks, doesn't typically do spoofs. So I'm worried it's the latter. It would be nice if it were a spoof, but I really don't think it was.
Yeah.
Jesse says, I swear, Bill, I saw the poster and thought, whoa, 90210 vibes. Are they aiming for the Gen Z audience?
Yeah,
I actually think they are. I think they are.
I agree. Yep.
I'm trying to be cautiously optimistic. She says, I would like to say that I'm past being cautiously optimistic. I think that they are telegraphing to us what we're going to get. I will still watch at least the first 2 episodes on the premiere night.
Yep.
Like Ross says, I'll watch the first episode and then go from there.
Indeed.
But I have a sinking feeling that it's not for me, and that's fine. People have lit me up for gatekeeping today, and it's like saying I don't like something. While I still love all of Star Trek, even Discovery, even Picard seasons 1 and 2, is not gatekeeping. I'm allowed to have a negative feeling as a fan, even while I'm still waiting to see it.
Exactly. And I'm the same way, man. I will say I'm not excited for this. I will watch it because it is Star Trek, but I think the powers that be at Paramount, CBS, Skydance, whatever the frig it is now, because I've lost track of a lot of things going on. I think that whoever are making the decisions for what Star Trek is going to be moving forward from right now want to market it to a completely different demographic than what people have been watching Star Trek for 60 years. I think they completely want to tailor it in a different way, and that's going to rub people the wrong way who have been fans for a long time. I am positive. Some people are going to love it. I absolutely know that's going to be the fact, and that's great. But I think that they're going off on a different road right now because it has been a long road.
Oh God, please don't. And I agree. I mean, we've said before, it's probably not every Star Trek is for everyone these days, and that's fine. Like Helen says, I'm not remotely in the demo for Prodigy, and I love Prodigy, so I'll give this a go too.
Yeah.
Same here, but I knew I was going to love Prodigy from the jump. Initially, my first feelings about a series have typically been right. I'm not saying I'm going to be right about this. I could very well be wrong, but let's circle back after January 15th or whatever day it is.
Yeah.
And see if I was correct.
Good idea.
Dave Gregory says, hey, all, Bill and Dan. Hey, Dave, it's good to see you. Sci-Fi Sisters in the house. Apparently looking forward to this. And I know 2 young Star Trek fans who are so pumped for this. And I think that's fantastic.
Yep.
I think that's the audience they're trying to reach, even though it's generally meant for all Trek fans. But I think Gen Z in particular, because we are an aging demographic, quite honestly.
That's true. That is true. Yep.
And no one is aging faster than you, Dan Davidson. I
got the white beard. I got less hair. Yeah, but that's all right.
Dan, red alert.
Like there's fine wine.
Dan, red alert. There's a Jamie Rogers sighting.
Oh, wow.
I thought he was missing. I thought maybe he was off with Red Squad somewhere. Jamie says they're trying too hard to do something different all the time. Unfortunately, instead of just doing what works. I can't find fault in that. So,
yeah.
So Dan, this is going to be the perfect segue into our main topic tonight. What we'd do if we ran Star Trek for a day. I think I know what one of yours is going to be. But let's get into that right after the jump as Garcia resets the table, and we will be right back. Stay right there. Dan, as we continue here on Thursday Night Geeks, presented by Fansets, we're going to talk about what we would do if we ran Star Trek for a day. So we have to imagine that the current regime of Kurtzman and company is gone. So Akiva Goldsman gone. Anybody that's currently running a Star Trek show no longer with the franchise. I'm not saying that's good or bad. I'm just saying for the purposes of this exercise, that's what we have to assume. Also, by the way, we have a Casey Shafsky sighting who says there's 2 damn sexy men right there. He must be watching something else.
Where? I know there's one damn sexy man typing that message.
That's true. Casey Shafsky. Just saying. So the idea is to, if we would make changes, we would keep things the same. I've got a few topics for us to run with during this. And the first one I'm going to take is, if you were in charge of Star Trek for a day, Dan, what would you greenlight as far as a new show?
Question before I answer your question. 24 hours are only in charge, but whatever decisions we make are binding going forward, right? Like executive orders type of thing. That's what we're doing. That's what's going to happen after we're done in 24 hours.
We may be in charge for 24 hours, but we give the green light to a show and it must proceed.
All right. First thing, I think it's pretty easy. I think a lot of people are going to agree. Terry Matalas, showrunner, Star Trek Legacy, happening. Bring them all back. Bring back everything that we were talking about after Picard season 3. That show is for our demographic, and that's one that I would instantly get everybody signed up for, get the contracts done, get the production started. Boom.
Interesting. I am going to say that I'm going to take it in a different direction because I'm tired of continuations. I'm tired of prequels. I'm tired of reimaginings. I say that we do what got us into this whole mess in 1987. And I say that we introduce something brand new. set 100 years after the events of Star Trek Picard season 3, and we call it something like Star Trek Generation 3 or something along those
Mhm.
lines. Brand new cast, brand new ship, brand new problems, and it has a minimum 15 episode season.
Nice. That's good. Yep.
I know we're not going to get 22, 26 episodes again. I know that those days are gone, but I don't think 15 is outside the realm. The Pit, which was one of the most watched shows this last year on HBO Max, ran for 15 episodes. It won Emmys. It had incredible storytelling, and they were able to sustain it for 15 straight episodes.
That's
I
pretty
think
good.
it's very easy to do with Star Trek, but I say it's time for Generation 3.
Oh,
Um,
I don't think that's a bad idea at all, man. And you're right. I was looking today. Gen V, which is a spinoff of The Boys,
yeah,
2 seasons out right now. They're only 8 episodes each.
yeah.
It's like really? Okay, whatever. But yeah.
Do you remember the big TV miniseries of the 1980s, like The Winds of War
Mm-hmm.
and North and South? They
Mm-hmm.
had like between 6 and 8 episodes, and it was considered event television.
Yep.
It was like, over 10 nights, you'd have 8 episodes,
Yep.
and it was a once in a lifetime event, as it were.
Yep.
8 episodes is not a season.
No,
Eight
it
eight
really isn't.
episodes is nice and all, but it's a start. If you want to do 16 and do 8 and 8 over an entire year and do 8 in the first half and 8 in the back half, that's fantastic. But 8 episodes, I think you lose a lot in the storytelling in 8 episodes.
The NFL season is twice as long as 8 episodes of Gen V. I mean, it's crazy. And I understand now there's so much to stream and so much to watch, but still, I mean, I can only imagine people like Billingsley and all the people that we've talked to who were involved in Legacy Trek, who were doing 26 episodes a season for 7 seasons or 4 seasons if you're John Billingsley. But we won't.
What a jerk.
What it must be like for them to watch what's going on now, seeing that these people are probably getting paid more and they're putting out a third of what they did.
Yeah. And I mean, I get it. It costs more to produce television. That's great. Up the budgets. These companies are swimming in billions and
Oh, yeah.
billions of dollars.
Yep.
And to tell me that they need to be as huge and expansive as they've been, I don't think that's true. Look at the
Yep.
Pit. I know it's not science fiction, but it's largely self-contained on one set with multiple rooms, like a starship. There are some exterior shots, but I mean, I think that I worry that the storytelling has gotten too big.
Yeah.
That's what kind of necessitates the over the top aspect. So
Can I
yeah, go ahead.
can I throw in an additional thing that I would
Yeah,
greenlight?
let's hear it.
Because we were just talking about it, and I gave my little JB zing. I love him to death, and Enterprise has got such a resurgence over the years, over the last few years, especially. More and more people talk about it. More and more people love it. They're very passionate about their love for Enterprise, and I think it would be great. I know you talked about you don't want to see any more, the spinoffs and stuff like that. There's been some discussion about a Bakula show coming back where he's like president of the Federation. I would love to see some kind, whether it's a movie or a mini series, North and Southish, like 8 episodes. Oh, sorry, it's only going to be 2 episodes, but
Right.
an Enterprise story. Bring back some of the regulars from Enterprise. Talk about it. Trip didn't die. He's somewhere out there and they find him or something like that. But bring something back with Enterprise because of all of the love and time that it deserves to tell more stories. I think that's something I would greenlight as well.
The question came up in chat. Do we know how many episodes this is going to be? We don't for sure, but I would say it's going to be between 8 and 10, most likely 10.
Yeah, I'm thinking 10.
Dan Granlove 678 is back. We still haven't scared her off.
Well, the night is young, my friends.
The night is young. So let's take a look here at some of the comments. I got to find my place again because my screen reset. Let's see. It's 15 is a good number. Thank you.
Yes.
This is a great point from Jason. Discovery had 15 episodes in their first season. There's no reason why it can't be 15 now. That's absolutely spot on. In fact, the only reason it
Yeah.
had 15 is because they did that 2-episode sort of prologue,
Mhm.
with the Shenzhou.
Yep.
So I thought it was perfect because it gave the proper amount of context that you would need in order to go into that 13-episode season. I thought it was
Right.
perfection. And of course, Lori Flubish is here. Hey, Lori, you can spread out the cost better over more episodes. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's true. And
That's
more episodes means more sponsors, which means more money for the studio. So I don't get it. I don't understand the logic. Star Trek logic escapes them. I don't know why.
I'm a little concerned that you are talking about logic.
It happens every once in a while.
Yeah.
Every once in a while.
Crusher Convo says, for me, Beverly Crusher. Shocker. I don't know. I'm caught really by surprise on that
I
one.
don't.
Yeah.
I didn't know she liked Crusher.
Ross says, it sounds weird, but I would greenlight some more audio dramas like Con. I would absolutely be on board with that because I think it's such a great and creative way to explore the Star Trek universe.
Have
It's
you
part of
caught
the
any
reason
of that yet?
I have not, but
Yeah, me
it's
neither.
part
I
of the
really
reason
want
why
to.
I like Star Trek audiobooks, quite honestly.
Yeah.
And of course, Casey, no more 10-episode seasons.
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree, but I don't
Right.
think that's going to happen.
Right.
No, we saw that one already. Where's the other one? I love it when Lori has to agree with us.
She
Agree
has to.
with you, knuckleheads.
It's the rule. You have to agree with the knuckleheads. I like that.
That's love right there. I don't care what anybody says.
Well, we love her.
Helen says the long wait between the short seasons is also
Yes.
frustrating. It really is. So back, in first run cable, I used to watch The Shield every season. And life for me was really the downtime in between Shield seasons. So the Shield would be on for 13 weeks. And then I would spend the rest of the year wondering, where the hell is the Shield? Come on. And sometimes it would be a year in between, So having to wait anywhere between 8 months to a year is horrible, especially for Strange New Worlds when, they've already got one season in the can. It's going to take forever to do the VFX.
Right.
And that may lead into our next topic, which we'll get to in just a second. So I'm trying to think if there's any other things that I would greenlight. I'd love to see a continuation of Lower Decks, even though I said no continuations, because it's the cheapest of the series to produce.
Mhm.
They could do that really in perpetuity and still keep it fresh and still keep everybody happy. I think it's a slam dunk. I think people love Lower Decks.
Yeah.
Even you, Dan.
I love Lower Decks. I wouldn't call it a I forget the word you use, but I wouldn't really. It'd just be the next season. It's
a continuation.
Enough. Yeah, it's recent enough. Just pick it up and keep going with it because it was so popular and so good and so funny and so well written. And that's probably one of the ones that's. I think I'm more irritated about that getting canceled than Strange New Worlds. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I definitely am.
Yeah.
I'd love to see more of that. I'd also like to see 2 Star Trek shows a year, and that's it. The year during COVID where we had 53 straight weeks of Star Trek, it was great as a fan, but it was horrible for people like us who podcast.
Right.
Because it's a ticket to burnout. So anyway, so Dan, that's what we'd greenlight. Obviously, when you're running a franchise and a show like Star Trek, there are other things you have to take into account. Not every idea works. And that takes us to, what would we fix? What part of the current Star Trek universe would we remedy, and how would we do it? And I'm going to kick us off.
Okay. I got to really think about this one.
I love watching Strange New Worlds. To me, it's a great escape. But I would do a couple of things. The first of which is I would make sure there was more beauty shots of the Enterprise, kind of like in TNG or Voyager. Lots of exteriors, especially coming in and out of the commercial break. Lots of great long shots, being able to see the ship in good lighting. That's a key. But the other thing I would do is I would reduce the amount of time we're using the AR wall up in Toronto.
Mhm.
The effect it's having is it's making everything so damn huge and
Big.
epic
Yeah.
that it's hard to rein everything back in. It's great if you want to do a planet set. Okay, awesome. But that shuttle bay aboard the Enterprise, that cargo bay aboard the Enterprise, engineering
Yeah.
aboard the Enterprise is ungodly ginormous, and there's no reason for it.
Right. Right.
Um, I think you actually lose the forced perspective of the warp core in the giant AR wall because
Mhm.
there's not that intimacy. So Star Trek's strength has never been, the technology. It's been good, don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, but it's not what gets the franchise by. It's the characters and it's the storytelling. The more we put an emphasis on these larger than life things, I think the more it diminishes our characters. So that's
Mhm.
that's what I would fix right off the bat.
Um, to your point, when they do show exteriors of the Enterprise and Strange New Worlds, when they do, because they don't do it as often as in TNG, they do look great. One of my favorite exterior shots of the Enterprise D, because it's kind of funny, is when it's kind of like backing up and then it turns to go off in the other
Yeah.
direction.
Yeah.
I love that because it does the light, it has the right lighting, like you were just talking about.
Mhm.
Always have thought that looked fantastic. And I'd love to see something like that with Strange New Worlds. Gee, what do you think I would fix, Bill?
Um, your face?
My face. Look at that. No, this whole jump to the future shit would be gone, done, retcon so that it never happened. Like friggin' Picard would wake up in bed next to Bob Newhart and say, "I just had the worst dream." That's what it would be. Because it's that shit's got to stop. That's one of the reasons I'm so upset about with Starfleet Academy. I already have a bad taste in my mouth about the show without it starting because of when it's taking place. You know how I feel about that jump to the future. I thought it was a weak excuse for the writers to not be able to pull in Star Trek history in the writing, and we know they can do it because they've done it with other shows. So that would be the first thing that I would tear that right up. That would not be a thing anymore.
I I like that. I've always said that I think that jump was a mistake. I think that you don't need to change the setting of your flagship television show simply just because you don't want to deal with canon. No matter where you go in Star Trek, you're going to have to deal with canon.
Right.
The only way they could have done that or avoided it is if they'd started everything over
Mhm.
and reboot the entire franchise and said clean slate for everything. It's all off the table. Even jumping to 3188, they still have to deal with everything that came before. Yeah, they can pave some new ground, but um, uh, canon is not a constraint unless you don't know how to write.
That's exactly it. And that's why I think it was a cheap way to not have to deal with canon. Because there are brilliant minds out there. We saw it happen in Picard season 3. We see it in Lower Decks every week. We saw it in Prodigy. So modern Trek and Discovery, we in modern Trek, we do have the writers that know how to write for Star Trek. I've always talked about how this is the best time because the people that write for it are true fans. So why they had to do that, I think it was a cop out, and it's something that's going to bother me forever.
Your face is going to bother me forever. I've gotten to like
That's two.
4. I think I think we're closer to 4.
I
Quite
only heard
honestly.
2.
We're gonna have to ask Garcia to start keeping count of the number of your faces in the show, maybe with like a little tick sheet.
I like that.
By the way, Garcia is still backstage. I just want to
He's
throw that
he
out
woke
there.
up. Look at him.
I know it's amazing because
Garcia.
it's about time for his tapioca. You can't hear what he's saying in our head.
There's name calling going on. It's awesome.
Yeah. Let's survey the comments on changes. Helen is exactly right. The Strange New Worlds Enterprise is a gorgeous ship. 100%. I wish they would light it differently, and I wish we would get longer shots of it. The episode in season 1 where they tangled with the Gorn, there are a lot of great external shots of the Enterprise. Fantastic. Go ahead, Dan.
Perfect example of what you're talking about. The first time we saw the Strange New Worlds Enterprise in Discovery. Beautiful shot of it coming into screen. That's what a great looking ship is.
Yeah.
That looked really good.
Crusher Convo says, hey, that Newhart finale was epic. Yes, it really was.
It was, yep.
She also thinks, Fix, stop using the Borg for everything. I can appreciate that on some
Mhm.
level, even if I think they're elemental to Picard. But that's just me. Steve says, I really like Disco, but that show I feel did a lot of damage to the Star Trek continuity and the vibe of Star Trek to me. That's fair. I
I don't
mean,
disagree with that.
that's I can't tell anybody their opinion like that is wrong,
Mhm.
even if I happen to agree with it. Um, Dave Gregory says, please and thank you. The Borg are overdone boogeymen. Yeah, I totally get it.
Yep.
Yeah, I totally get it. Um, and of course, we mentioned Garcia, so you have to
Yes.
drink, and now you have to drink twice because I said it
'Cause you
again.
just said it again. Good
Yeah,
lord. We didn't talk about you drinking water?
I am drinking water. Yeah.
Okay.
What do you probably have some kind of old fashioned?
Dude, you have turned me into an old-fashioned kinda guy. Yeah, so I got my apple cider one. I've been doing that one. I'm trying to get rid of some of the stuff that we have before the move so I can throw the bottles away, so
What I hear you saying is, Bill, you're right.
yes.
Except you're not saying those words, are you?
Nope. Move along. Bill, you're right
All
on
right.
this
Well,
one
let's
thing.
and that's fair. So let's do this. We're gonna pause for some commerce that we're gonna commit here on Thursday Night Geeks. Talk about our presenting sponsor, Fansets. We are going to be right back. Don't go anywhere. And here we are to talk about our friends at Fansets, the presenting sponsor of Thursday Night Geeks, Dan, and of Trek Geeks. Safe to say that nobody does it better, and we're so grateful to them for the last almost 10 years of bringing you great Trek Geeks content. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Pretty awesome. Glad you got to spend some time with them recently. That's
I
very cool
did.
also. Yeah,
I
that's
flew
very,
up to
very cool.
Chicago for the last Creation Con of the year.
Yep.
I met them up there. I met Yvette from Sci-Fi Sisters and saw a
Awesome.
whole bunch of people and had a great weekend. Finished the weekend with some deep dish pizza, which I'd never had before, and
Okay.
oh my gosh, it was amazing.
Good stuff. Well,
I
yeah, it's I'm glad that you got to go. I wish I had been able to go as well, but I was there in spirit. It's another week, so another moment to thank, like you said, the best team in the business. They got over 500 officially licensed Star Trek pins, new stuff coming out all the time. Head on over to fansets.com right now and get all of these beauties for yourself or for any other Trek fan as the holidays fast approach. From the Delta collection is the TOS Gold Ops Delta. As always, it's available in pin and magnet form. And next up from the universe of Trek, it's everyone's favorite animated Vulcan. But are Vulcans ever truly animated? It's T'Lyn from Lower Decks. Also,
oh
did you like that? You like that?
yeah. And before you press on, I gotta say, at dinner on that Sunday night, I sat next to Gabrielle Ruiz, who is the voice of T'Lyn.
Ah,
She is absolutely delightful. What a wonderful human.
that's
Just
awesome.
so amazingly sweet and wonderful. So I just had to throw that out there.
That's great. That's fantastic. Also from Lower Decks, Bill, we have Dog. That's it. That's the name. Just Dog.
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 Hi, Dog.
Also, we were just talking about this from the recent Creation Convention in Chicago. You can get your hands on this beautiful Lieutenant Uhura hailing frequency open show pin. They have a few of those left, so grab them fast because they are not going to be on the site much longer.
Now, before you continue on,
Yeah.
let's talk about a couple of Easter eggs here.
Okay.
Along the edge here, you'll see there's Morse code.
Yes.
And in the margin of the delta here, it says Nichelle Nichols as Lieutenant Nyota Uhura
In Morse code.
in Morse code.
Communications.
The
Nice.
other thing here is that obviously this is the pin for Chicago, right?
Yep.
2025.
Mhm.
Well, Nichelle Nichols was born in Illinois.
Right.
And I didn't know that until I got to Chicago. So a couple of great little Fansets Easter eggs as a part of this pin. This is just, the detail they put into everything. So
That's what they do.
Yeah.
They surprise us with stuff that we didn't know or expect, and it always looks fantastic.
Absolutely.
And speaking of fantastic, besides your face, Bill, I mentioned the holidays a second ago, and Fansets has 2 pins for the holidays this year. The first is the Lower Deck the Halls pin with Tendi and her cute little elf hat. And then this one, and I got to tell you, man, this might be my favorite Delta that they have ever done. I'm wearing it tonight. It's the TNG Make It Snow Holiday Delta. It's a TNG comm badge with beautiful reds and greens for the holidays. It's absolutely perfect. It is only available in magnet form, but don't let that stop you from buying 5 or 10 or 20 of them, because you're going to want them for all your cosplay uniforms at the holidays. Get them now at fansets.com.
Let's see yours, because you're solo on the screen.
There you go.
It's
Right, look at
beautiful.
that.
It's shiny. It just looks like Christmas or the holidays.
Fantastic.
It's fantastic. I got to tell you, they pretty much sold out of these, the amount they brought to Chicago.
Yeah.
So
It's
if
so
you're
gorgeous.
if you're ordering it online, you're safe. There'll be plenty of them there for you. But I love this pin so much. I can't wait to wear it all day Christmas Day, and I might even wear it on every other holiday too, just because it's fantastic.
Why not? And I'd love to see, they're so good. I want to see a DS9 one like this next year, guys. I'm telling you that right now. Lou, John, putting that in your stocking to pull out and make for next year. I want that.
I don't think that's going to happen, but you can. Hope can spring eternal.
That's true.
So obviously, you know what comes next.
Yeah.
Get on out to fansets.com, put all those pins in your cart, and then at checkout, be sure to enter the special discount code word Trek Geeks. That's Trek Geeks in all capital letters with no spaces to get 10% off your entire order at fansets.com. Wow. And of course, Dan, you spend more than $30 on fansets.com, you get what?
Free shipping.
Free dang shipping. So let's get those pins today, y'all.
Get them. Fansets. Our pins have character, and we thank our friends at Fansets for being the presenting sponsor of Thursday Night Geeks.
Before we move away from the Fansets spot, Joel says, if Bill and Dan ran Fansets for a day, if I ran Fansets for a day, any pin that looks like Dan would be melted down and used for scrap metal. What about you, Dan?
Well, there is a pin like that, actually. So I don't see a pin of you, so I'm just going to leave it at that.
Well, that's what I'm saying is there are pins, and I would melt them down if I ran Fansets for a day.
At least I have a pin. What would I do if I were running Fansets for a day? I would say, you know what? I'm not going to change a damn thing. Lou and John, everybody over there, keep doing what you're doing. Thanks for what you do. There you go.
And that's it. We'll be right back with a little bit more of what we do over here in Star Trek. So stay right there. We'll be right back. You know, Dan, I love the idea that we could potentially run Star Trek for a day. I think it would be kind of like, though, the Shawshank Redemption, in where the character locks himself in the office of the warden and starts playing music over the speakers. Yes. I think that's kind of what it would be like.
Okay.
So I know that our tenure at running Star Trek would be brief.
Only a day.
Exceedingly brief. Only a day, probably less if they could get the door open. But that takes us to our next topic, Dan.
Oh, I don't know what this topic is.
And that is, what would we pause or reboot? So we have the opportunity to just, kind of pause a show, or to just say, you know what, let's just change this and do a new version of it, or just re-envision what we were doing to start with.
Okay.
Any show, you name it. I don't care how far back you want to go. What would you pause or reboot in the Star Trek universe?
I would love to reboot Deep Space Nine. It's our favorite. It's been our favorite since it was originally on. I'd love to get a fresh perspective of that. Still the same type of tone, a little darker. But I would love to be thrust back into that universe of our universe. I miss it. I really do miss it. I think that would be fun. I mean, I know one of the things that when the documentary came out a few years ago, they had a theoretical season 8, where I thought the ideas that they had in there were really good. There's been some books that have come out after the show ended that really got me thinking as to what it would be like if they continued or rebooted the series. I don't know. What do you think about a J.J. Abrams Deep Space Nine Kelvin reboot with all the lens flare at the space station? That would be something, wouldn't it?
Can you imagine when the wormhole fires up? Oh
Oh
my
my
God, we'd all go blind.
God.
Everybody
Yep.
be walking around on Deep Space Nine with visors on.
And this one's going to shock you.
Oh,
I
really?
would pause any Section 31 stuff, anything, mainly because of the movie, but also because I think it got overdone. When it was originally showed up in Deep Space Nine, it really had that intrigue. It really had um, wow, there really is an organization that would do this, and it really was powerful to me. I loved it still at the beginnings of what was going on in Discovery. I just think that it got overdone, oversaturated, and of course the movie just completely killed it for me. And that's really too bad. It's too bad for the fans. It's too bad for Michelle, who does such great work and was given just awful stuff to work with. So I probably don't think many people would ever think I would pause Section 31 because I was such a big fan of it, but I would.
Um, Mine is not unlike that. I would pause any more direct to Paramount Plus movies.
Yes.
Um, there's a place for movies and it's in your theater. Where you get a chance uh, to to make some money. I mean, they're not making a whole bunch of money off a TV movie because let's face it, that's what Section 31 was.
Hmm.
They're hoping it's going to drive subscriptions. I am willing to bet it didn't, guarantee very many. But especially Section 31. Um, the danger there is you've got Michelle Yeoh, who is such a phenomenally popular star around the world.
Yep.
And because you have her as a part of this universe, can you find the right vehicle for her to still be part of Star Trek? So I, if a Section 31 story is done correctly, which is not the way they did it, then I'd say yes. And in order to do that, I would bring back Bowie Kim and Erica
Oh, yeah.
Lippold
There
to
we go. Yep.
actually supervise, that writing and that process. I
Yep.
don't know if they'd ever do Star Trek again,
Hmm.
especially based on the way that that whole situation went down with Section 31.
Yep.
But their original ideas, I think, had a lot of merit. I think they were kit bashed into something terrible,
Hmm.
and unfortunately, I mean, Michelle Yeoh was signed and they had her, and so they had to make something.
Right.
Um, I think I would definitely do that. That's kind of a half pause, a half reboot. I
Okay.
think I would also I would reboot the first two seasons of Star Trek Picard.
Okay.
Uh,
Yep.
and I would kind of go with the fact that it should have been a continuation of the Next Generation all along.
Hmm. Right.
And kind of do the build up to the season 3 of Picard. Let them
Okay.
have some other adventures. Let them have some other adversaries. Let them all have Q one more time, and make that part of the story count. Because in hindsight, it seems kind of throwaway. I think the other thing that I would reboot, and I hate to say this, it 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 gets me to my core, is I would reboot the original series, but not with the people they've cast.
Yes. It's interesting they say that because that's one thing that I thought of earlier today, and I had forgotten about it. Is I am okay with this idea of the year one that's been floating around. If
Yeah.
it's done right and if it's done with the right people, I think having that bridge between when Strange New World ends and season one of TOS, I would look forward to that. I think that would be good. Um, will it happen? They're talking about it, but I'm not going to hold my breath.
Yeah, I'm not holding my breath either.
And you know
No.
why I'm not holding my breath, dude? And this is a mean thing to say about the people that are making these decisions over there now. Is I don't think they want to do anything other than this stuff that they're doing now with Starfleet Academy 90210 or whatever stuff it is. It's just it's pointed towards a group of a demographic that does not think the way that we do with regards to the Star Trek universe. And
Well,
that's sad.
Paramount's not dumb. Any incarnation of its ownership is not dumb. They know that in order for the franchise to carry on, they have to create something that future generations will want to
Yeah.
see. And I understand. I mean, it doesn't mean that every Star Trek is going to be for everybody, and that's fine. But I think it still has to have those hallmarks. I don't count the movies as that because the movies have always been their own separate thing. With the exception of the motion picture, every film has been about one big villain.
Right.
And you could technically say also the one with the whales, but that's more about us than it is about anything. But by and large, it's
True.
about having a big villain that we need to fight and combat. And that brings in money. It puts asses in seats. That's fine. But as far as TV, I think it needs to stay central to the idea of Star Trek on television, which is to tell stories about today through, the characters of tomorrow.
Right.
And I think that I think that's key, honestly. So,
and I don't mean to, I'm not meaning to bash them. Some of the things I'm saying are bashing, but because we have seen amazing stuff with New Trek. Prodigy was brilliant. Lower Decks was hysterical. Strange New Worlds is wonderful, but it's got such a bad taste in my mouth what they did with Discovery and what they're doing with Starfleet Academy that it kind of overshadows my overall opinion of current Trek right now. And that's my bad. I really shouldn't think like that, but I just go down a rabbit hole when I start thinking about it.
Yeah, no, and I get it. I mean, even in the Berman era, there were decisions we didn't like. There were things that, we'd see and we go, oh God, in hindsight, some of it doesn't seem as bad, but there were bad episodes during the Berman era, things that you'd watch and go, that was terrible, but in hindsight, everything looks a little better than it really was, I guess sometimes, even though when we went through it the first time, some of it was objectively bad.
Masks.
Aquiel. Up the long ladder. Yeah, the Muse. It's a
Garcia.
You can't hear Garcia, but he's talking about the episode that he thinks is terrible. I forgot what I was going to say too, because just hearing that voice in my ears,
it makes you forget everything.
Yeah, let's take a look at the chat. Jesse says, "Easy season 2 of Picard," so we're kind of simpatico there. Amy, hey Amy, it's good to see you. Reboot Enterprise with cameos from the original cast. I love this idea. Brad says reboot Discovery. Start in the 32nd century, same crew, and the starting point seeing the downfall of the Federation and then the efforts to reform it. I actually like that idea better.
Interesting. Yeah.
It was Brian Fuller's idea to start it 10 years before TOS.
Right.
Originally, he wanted to do a full season of the Mirror Universe, from what I hear. And I'm really glad that didn't happen, quite frankly.
As am I, as a matter of fact. Yep.
In fact, Helen's going to double down on that one. Say, I would put a moratorium on the Mirror Universe. Here. I think I'm done with the Mirror Universe forever now.
Follow up with what I said.
Yeah, I'm done. And Dan says, and we should probably get a time and date on this one, folks. Amazingly enough, Helen, I don't disagree with you.
Yep. Again, oversaturation. Discovery oversaturated my favorite aspects of the dark side of Star Trek, the Mirror Universe and Section 31.
And I want to thank Jesse for capturing this for all time.
Thanks, Jesse.
Says Crusher Convo, I'm a witness. Dan said Bill is right. Timestamp December 4th, 2025, 8:32 p.m. Eastern time. There you have it.
I'm gonna remember this.
Be sure to go listen to Crusher Convo, everybody, and watch the videos. Absolutely worth your time. Let's see, where was I? Because I scrolled back and I lost it.
Mirror Universe was where you were last.
It was. Marina, hey Marina, stories of today using characters of tomorrow's. I feel exactly the reason why reboots should be verboten. Thank you. I just kind of came up with that off the top of my head. Ross, reboot the crazy looking ships in the 32nd century. I can't get behind how shiny they are. I can't get behind the fact that they have detached fucking nacelles.
I was just gonna say that. That's funny.
Where does the deuterium go?
I don't know. Up your ass and to the left. I'm sorry. No,
you're not. No, you're not.
Yeah.
that's my. I think detached nacelles are the dumbest thing ever, along with programmable matter and a tricorder, a tricom badge that puts the display right in front of your face.
Yeah. I
Well,
love, I miss the battleship gray of the original Enterprise. Even the D was kind of like blue, right? It had that
not
blue tint
really.
to it. It kind of
I
did to
think that
me.
was standard definition in your TV playing games
Oh,
with
all
you.
right. Okay.
Ross also says, I bring back Wesley Crusher for
Nice.
more than a 3-minute cameo. I agree. He should have been more involved with Picard season 3.
Speaking of which, Bill, I don't know if you knew this, Mr. Wesley Crusher himself,
Will Wheaton.
Will Wheaton, is in Concord, New Hampshire tonight.
He is doing a Stand
Yes,
By Me.
he's doing Stand By Me live.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think that's fantastic.
Yeah.
He flew into Boston yesterday, which is kind of awesome.
Yep.
So
Saw that this morning. I was like, oh, cool.
I'm sure it's pretty cold up there for a guy who lives in California. So
I'm sure it is.
I'm sure it is. Lori says, and I hate programmable matter. Thank you.
It's another cop out. It's another jump to the future cop out in my mind. Absolutely agree with that.
Yeah, I agree. Detachable nacelles are just a King missile reference. Very interesting.
I don't know.
I hadn't even thought of that, but let's see. And Helen also says Wesley was terrific in Prodigy. Yes, he was.
Yep.
Because he got to essentially be Doctor Who.
That's true. He did.
Yeah. We have a request, Dan. Amy says that Dan needs to make apple cider old fashions in Vegas.
Very
I'm just
easy.
Throw that out there.
Remind me, Amy. We'll be happy to do it.
Helen also says, I hate the personal transporters. Yes. It's ridiculous. It's not transporting, it's teleportation.
That's exactly right.
How do they know? How do they know where the person wants to go?
And it's so much faster. It's like it's gone.
It's absurd. Yeah. So anyway, Dan, that is what we'd pause or reboot. We come now into our last section. Ooh. And this one may take a little, mental thought from you with both your brain cells that are left.
I'm out.
And that is, what would our wildest executive decision be? So it doesn't matter what it is, pie in the sky. Remember, we only have the reins for 24 hours. We're going to commit Paramount to whatever we want to, and then they've got to make it happen. So what would your wildest executive decision be?
Do you want to go first?
No.
Because I don't have the slightest idea.
All right, then I'll go first.
Okay.
I'll go first.
All right.
My wildest executive decision would be a Star Trek Avengers crossover.
I'm done. Drop your mic, dude, because that was pretty awesome. I love that idea.
That's wild.
We've seen Star Trek Transformers and Star Trek Alien and Star Trek X-Men in the comic books. Why not? I think that's a fantastic idea, man.
Now,
absolutely.
You can't use mine.
No.
So now you have to come up with one of your own. That's the danger of me going first, buddy, is I take what I know you'd love and then I throw it back at you. And you're like, damn, I can't use that. Well, while you're thinking, I want to call out that the transporter room actually loved the personal transporters, and I guess that fits, right?
Yeah, that's fine. No problem.
Good to see you, transporter room. Thank you for being here. Executive decision. Brad says 4K DS9
okay.
set.
I was going to say high def. I guess that's it. So
I love it.
Can't use that one either now.
I love that all of Dan's thunder is being just ripped away from him.
That's all right. My thunder was ripped away the minute I said you were right, because now I can never love myself again.
Dan, you should love yourself because none of us love you. Ross says I'd release every blooper reel known to man for every Star Trek series. I kind of like that. So in the mid 80s, I actually saw Gene Roddenberry, lecturing at Laconia High School as part of a series. And he brought the infamous TOS blooper reels with him, which, he showed on, I think it was 16 millimeter. And at that point, nobody had ever really seen them. They hadn't been mass produced on VHS yet and sold at Star Trek conventions, at least for another couple of years. Yep. So I remember that. And it was fantastic. I loved every minute of it. I'd love to see bloopers for every single show and every single season.
This is going to be kind of I don't know if it's going to be a take on what you said, but we've people have been arguing about it for 50 years. Star Wars versus Star Trek movie.
Oh, I like that.
Something to do with the two universes colliding. We could see just how ridiculously not superior the Empire galactic destroyers are versus one starship with phasers and shields. Just saying.
I think we've all seen that meme that says, faster Sulu before Disney acquires us. I think it's safe to say that the Enterprise will be way faster than
yes,
an Imperial cruiser.
I do love it when the Imperial cruisers come out of hyperspace. That is always very cool to see. Yeah. But then Star Trek kind of took that special effect and incorporated it into the Picard series and stuff like that and Discovery when they come in and out of warp too. So.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Steve says, I want a Wayoon spinoff in the style of The Office.
That's great. Every single desk is a Wayoon.
Oh, and they have to deal with Damar, who's the regional manager.
I love it. Yep. Very good. I like
Jesse
that.
also says executive decision, finally getting Beverly Crusher her own Funko Pop. I would be all for that. Amy
it's
says
going to come with the ghost.
Yeah. And the candle. Amy asks, would they beam a photon torpedo onto whatever ship Thanos is on? Yes, hopefully. And hopefully it's Danos instead of Thanos.
Wow.
Hey, you're welcome. Helen says, I saw Gene Roddenberry in about 1976. He showed the bloopers in a black and white print of the cage. Helen, now that I think about it, I want to say I saw clips of the cage that night in 1984. I'm sorry. It was 83. I apologize because it was in between 2 and 3. Okay. I did see he did bring some black and white scenes of the cage, not the full episode, which I thought was really cool. So I had forgotten all about that till you mentioned it. Let's see. Sulu, engage ludicrous speed. I like that little Spaceballs reference there.
Here's one that I would throw you that you will hate.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying it to get under your skin. Greenlight, the Tarantino film.
I hate that idea.
That's why I said it.
Marina says, speaking of Wayoon, how about an entire new Trek series with every main character played by Combs? I'm in. Including Agimus from Lower Decks.
The computer, yeah.
The computer. Great comments, everybody. I love it. I wish we could be in charge of Star Trek for a day. I think it would be shorter than Bill Belichick's tenure with the New York Jets when he was hired as their coach. But it would be amazing like you wouldn't believe.
Yep.
It suffice it to say that Star Trek is a canvas that can, have just literally anything painted on it, especially the ideas of two idiots who've been watching it for 50 years. So
I'm gonna throw out another executive decision because somebody's joined us in the chat. Lieutenant J needs her own show. Let's do it. Let's make it happen.
Let's greenlight Lieutenant J. I love it.
That'd be awesome.
In fact, Lieutenant J can go Section 31 after, her time on the Enterprise and all
Lovely.
That stuff. Undercover operative, along with Michelle Yeoh. I think I'm there for that. That would be amazing.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
I love it. So Dan, that takes us to the end of the season for Thursday Night Geek. So a little, inside baseball stuff. We actually never knew that we were going to do this in seasons until I decided it the other day. And really what it boils down to is we're going to take the next several weeks off. We're going to be back in January. We'll start talking about the 60th anniversary of Star Trek.
Yep.
But Dan, as we draw to a close the end of our 10th year, doing Trek Geeks and the end of our first year doing Thursday Night Geeks,
pretty much 11 months so far. Yeah.
What are your thoughts? How do you feel about where Trek Geeks is at, and what do you want to see us do?
Trek Geeks, I think, as it's been like 3 years now where life has just thrown curveballs at both of us from time to time, and I don't feel that we've gotten as much Trek Geeks out there as we would like. And that's our fault. But unfortunately, family life and stuff takes precedence. I'm hoping that we can be able to mix a little bit more of this awesome live stream that I've had so much fun doing over the past year with some regular episodic audio episodes of Trek Geeks, maybe some more See It or Skip It. I think would be great. We still have a few seasons to do of that, but it's fun as it always is. I've had such a great year doing stuff with you, man. Vegas was fantastic this year. We had such a great time. Couple things I did want to point out. I have, as you can see, I don't have much in here right anymore. We're moving next week. So the next time we are live, it'll be in my new gig, my new digs with the nice little trophy case behind me. Hopefully it'll be nice. But right here next to me, which you can't see, I have my pile of Patreon pins for our Patreonicals. I'm hoping to be able to get those shipped out over the next day or two. I want to get them mailed before the move next week. So for Patreons who are listening, if you're on the tier where you will get a pin, you should see that in the coming weeks. I'm going to put a note on Patreon. If you are expecting a pin and don't have one by, say, the end of January, please let me know so I can go through my records, make sure that I've got the information I need to send it to you. And as we pointed out in a previous episode, there was an issue with temporal investigations when we did the pins this year. So the pin that you're going to get is a year 7 pin, even though it should have been a year 6 pin. So for year 7, you're going to get the year 6. For year 6, you're getting the year 7. That's just me. My brain is screwed up, and that's my fault.
It is, and you're doing the best you can with the 2 brain cells that are left.
One of them just fizzled out, so I only got one.
You're so screwed. Marina says, any possibility of doing a party or get together at STLV next year? I'm going to say yes. There is a definite possibility. The challenge is finding a venue. We think we have potentially a solution for that. We're not sure yet, but it's going to take time to meet that out. At the very least, we'll try to do some sort of get together or meet up somewhere at the convention, just so we can hang with people and do whatever. I want to bring on one more comment sort of before I talk about our 10 years and our 1 year. And that's a comment from Ross. Thank you, Bill and Dan, for filling my Thursday nights with this. It's helped me more than I can say.
Wow.
And I got to say, Ross, it's helped us more than we can say too. For the past 10 years, we've shown up either in your ears or in your eyes to just be 2 nerds talking about Star Trek. And when we started, we had no idea if anyone would listen or even care. The past 10 years have shown me that Star Trek is alive and well, and that it's because of all of the amazing people who watch Star Trek and the people who so kindly give us their time every week, whether on Thursday Night Geeks or whether on Trek Geeks as an audio podcast, to share their fandom or to exercise their fandom through us really means more to Dan and I than we could possibly tell you.
Yeah.
So we're grateful to all of you, whether watching now or sometime in the future or listening, to the audio version of this. We're grateful to you all for being a part of this, because literally and truly, we could not have done it without you. I'm grateful to all our Patreons. I'm grateful to everybody who downloads. I'm grateful to Garcia for, showing up and shepherding us through this broadcast some weeks. I'm grateful to, our collective spouses for letting us do this for 10 years and really letting us just go off and be on our own.
Yeah.
But, I think I'm not going to speak for you, Dan, but I think I probably do when I say we love every single one of you and thank you for letting us be part of your fandom. We're still going to be here, so we hope you will be too. So
yeah, agreed. Great things to say, Bill. 10 years when this first started, I didn't know what it was going to be like. I didn't even know what it was. I didn't even know what a friggin' podcast was. As the story goes, we've always talked about that. For 10 years, it has been just incredible discussions. But the most important part of it, of all the fun stuff we've done great shows. We've had amazing guests. We've got to go to great places and go to events and meet the stars and everything like that. The thing that means the most to me is the extended family that we now have, who are the Trek Geek listeners and supporters, and that means more than I could ever express in words. That all of you that are here week after week, sending us messages live and listening to and downloading, and it's incredible. And it's sometimes it's overwhelming to know that there are people out there that enjoy listening to us and sharing in our experiences. And I am truly grateful for that and always will be. So thank you to each and every one of you. Thank you, Bill. As the holidays are here, I'm so thankful for our friendship and this idea that you came up with. It's been an incredible ride, and I'm looking forward to next year, some great things, and we'll see where it goes.
Dan, and as a bonus, we haven't scared Grand Love 678 away. We're
That's
still
all right.
getting
We still got 29 days, 30, 20 something days left in the month. I don't know.
It could happen. That's all I'm saying.
It could happen. Yeah.
Well, for Garcia in the control room, for Dan, for me, we wish you all Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, the merriest and the happiest of holidays, whichever you celebrate, if you celebrate. And if you don't, then just enjoy the rest of the year, because these are times to treasure every single one of them. Until next year, this has been Thursday Night Geeks Season 1. We do hope you all live long and prosper. And Dan, you better give us a coconut for the ages.
Coconut! Woo!
Take care, everybody. See you soon. Thank you.